Welcome everyone. Wanted to know like what is the interview process at Verizon and what kind of questions are being asked at Verizon? So you are on the right channel, right video. Welcome to our channel where we try to address these two questions, the interview processes and interview questions that are being asked at different MNCs. So today I am going to share my interview experience with Verizon. In this video I'll be sharing the interview process that I have underwent at Verizon and will be sharing the interview questions which I have encountered in the interview. I wish this video should be helpful to many people, and if you are looking out for a change, all the best for that. Firstly, I would like to talk about the interview process. So there were two technical rounds. First one was a Skype call, and second one was a face-to-face discussion. And in the second face-to-face discussion itself, there was a manager round also. Then I had a HR discussion. So this was a typical interview process. And to be honest, with the feedback of the interview, you should go eat and go, to be honest, because you will not find any food there at their premises. They'll only provide food to the interviewers, not to the candidates, seriously. And if you haven't if you are on if you went to interview with an empty stomach, you will suffer a lot. First of all, you will not be able to concentrate on the interview itself, because this is my personal experience that I am sharing here. I underwent that. Like, I was not able to concentrate properly on the interview because of hunger. So so luckily I cleared all the rounds. And coming to the salary discussion, salary offered was 14 lakhs for me. So for a 5.3 years experience guy, 14 lakhs is a good amount. So I have accepted the offer as also. So let us start the questions that I have encountered in the interview. And before that, these are the list of interview experiences that we have already shared till date. You can visit our channel and you can have a look on that as well. And if you haven't subscribed our channel, you can subscribe, because there are many interviews coming up which are in the queue. So I would request you to subscribe the channel to catch all the updates. The first question was, surprisingly, there was nothing like introduce yourself, how are you, what do you do, nothing. Straightforward question was, what is Apache Camel? So I had experience on of, like, it was mentioned in my resume. I even had working experience on Apache Camel. So this first question straightforward was, what is Apache Camel? So I have answered it in this way. Apache Camel is a rule-based routing and mediation engine that provides a Java object-based implementation of the enterprise integration pattern, or EAP, using an API. So this can be the short answer that can be given to the interviewer. The next question was, what is an exchange in Apache Camel? So it is a message holder. Exchange is a message holder, and the it contains the message that should be routed in the Camel. So Apache Camel exchange can hold any kind of message. It supports a variety of formats like XML, JSON, objects as well. So this can be the answer. What are routes in Apache Camel? So routes are the backbone of Apache Camel. So it allocates messages based on the related routes. A route contains flow and integration logic. It is implemented using APIs and a specific DSL. On what all components of Apache Camel have you worked? So I have listed out all the components that I have worked on in Apache Camel. How have you handled exceptions in Apache Camel? So there are three ways we can do this, like using try catch block, on exception block, or error handler block. So the error handler is used to handle any uncaught exception that gets thrown during the routing and processing of the message. Conversely, on exception is used to handle a specific exception when they are thrown, and try catch is a normal try catch block. Like, if there is an exception in the try, that gets handled in the catch block. What do you understand by microservices? Microservices are more appropriately, microservices architecture is an SDLC approach based on which large applications are built as a collection of small functional modules. These functional modules are independently deployable, scalable, and they can communicate with each other over standard protocols. What are the advantages and disadvantages of microservices? So everything comes up with its own benefits and its own disadvantages. So even though microservices are having n number of advantages, the biggest disadvantage of microservices is the maintenance. How do you implement a Spring security in Spring Boot application? So it is very, like I would say, not very easy, but it is an easy process if you have already worked. So just we need to have a dependency, right dependency in the form.xml, and we need to override the config file, and that's it, the magic runs, the security magic. What is an actuator in Spring Boot? The actuators brings in production ready features into an application. It is mainly used to expose operational information about the running application's health, matrices, info dump, environment, etc. It uses HTTP endpoints or JMX beans to interact with it. What do you mean by end-to-end testing of microservices? So end-to-end testing validates all the processes in the workflow to check if everything is working as expected or not. It helps ensure that the system works in a unified manner, thereby satisfying the business requirement. What are solid principles? So I have explained in detail like what are solid principles. Explain how concurrent hash map works internally. So I was well prepared for this question as well. So I have explained him in detail like how the concurrent hash map works. Explain about comparator and comparable interface with examples. So he has given me a scenario, like he has given me an object, customized object, and he was asking me to sort that object based on the name using comparator and comparable both. How do you handle exceptions? So it was not just this simple question, like it was a question on complete exceptions, like how do you, like what kind of exceptions we should handle, what kind of exceptions we should not handle, like why exceptions are classified into two ways, like checked and unchecked, based on what factors we are saying that these are checked exceptions and these are unchecked exceptions, and what will happen if we handle unchecked exceptions, and this kind of scenarios were there, like typical scenario based questions on exceptions. Explain about caching in your application. So I have explained him in detail like how we are making use of cache, like how we are maintaining the cache in our application. So we are using cache and we are storing the things into that cache. What is the benefit of having default and static methods in interface? So I have to struggle a bit to explain him like why actually these two methods are introduced into the interface now. What features of Java 1.8 have you worked on? So I have explained him all the features, like few features that I have worked, that I extensively worked, like streams, lambda expressions. So those two things I have said him. The next question was a written code, like asked me to write a code to find all the to find the second highest number in an array. So I was well prepared with this question also. So it was a simple question only. The next question was, given a sorted array, how do you find the index of a given number? So he said me like there is an array of 100 numbers, like random numbers, 100 or 1000. I'll give you one number. So how do you find the index of it? Like he wanted to know the logic that I'll apply here to find the index of the number. So I have written him like dividing the array into half of, and I'll be checking that whether that half is greater than or less than to the given number, and I'll be trying to find the index of it. So with this I would like to conclude the interview here. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe, like, comment, share, and provide your feedback on the interview. I hope this interview experience helps you.